Now, what got you started in making jewelry?
Well, as everyone knows, college girls don't have a lot of money. So I had gotten to the point where I was kind of getting sick of everything that was in my jewelry box, and I really wanted something new, but I was pretty short on funds. So I grabbed a couple of pairs of pliers and I started taking apart the stuff I had in my jewelry box already and piecing it together into new items. From there, I've just kind of blossomed into a bunch of different avenues.
Now, I've looked at some of the things you're selling on Go Imagine, and it looks way more complicated than just slapping jewelry together. And the handmade jewelry genre in general, you're saying that you feel that it's a little misunderstood. Is that how you put it?
Yeah. You get a lot of people that just think you're throwing beads on a string and calling it handmade jewelry. And it is, to an extent, that's how a lot of people get started. But honestly, there's countless hours of practice and trial and error and real actual hard work that goes into creating a piece that you feel like would be good enough to put out into the public.
Yeah, because I'm always intrigued by what I see people selling on Go Imagine. I'm sometimes amazed by some of the things being sold because it looks so good. Mm-hmm. It looks like it's manufactured. Like there's no way hands put together this item. Now, to be clear, it's not just the polymer clay. Like this, you actually make the actual necklace part, the actual necklace, the chain.
Yep, the chain, the clasps, the ear wires. I really try to make sure that everything I do is completely from scratch, even though I do still throw in those reclaimed pieces here and there. And I do throw in, of course, I don't cut my own stones. So I do keep those as well. But I really prefer to put out a piece that's completely made from scratch.
Some people might think you created this, I don't know, we'll call that the pendant, and then attached it to an earring that you bought and already existed. Not made the actual earring piece as well. Or maybe you just made this pendant down here, that part, but not the actual necklace. But the entire thing, soup to nuts in this case, is made by your hands. And I'm sure a lot of time and effort put into it, which is incredible when you look at the intricacy of every loop you've done here. That's amazing. You've obviously got a lot of talent. You have an eye for artistic things. Why did you choose jewelry?
I wouldn't say that I chose jewelry. I would say that jewelry chose me. My late great uncle was a jeweler. He'd been doing that for about 40 years. My great aunt would design the settings, and then he would solder the setting together, cut the stone, set the stone, and then send that out into the world. And ever since he passed, I feel like I need to kind of live up to that legacy a little bit. There's these really great friends of mine, Gary and Elaine Wesley. They are entertainment artists. Gary does Elvis, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame actually this last summer. And his wife Elaine does Patsy Cline. And they have been putting on this event called Elvis Fest that donates all of their proceeds to Parkinson's research. So I've been with them since the beginning, and they're really the ones that kind of got me into the craft fair world, if you will.
Are you doing this as your full-time job right now?
I am, yes. I have a genetic disability that prevents me from working a regular job. So it started as a hobby, but now it's my main gig, if you will. When my partner introduced me to polymer clay, I started just playing around with it, and I started creating these little gardens. So they're mini gardens. They're like fairy gardens, but they're for indoor use only and just for decoration, not for, they're not toys. And then I do wire tree sculptures as well on hunks of what is called a cold water agate or a Druzy quartz, which is very prevalent in Wisconsin. So I'll go out and I'll find really nice specimens and I'll clean them up and I'll bring them up into the shop and I'll create a little sculpture on top of them.
Yeah, so earlier we were talking and you actually had something on your desk. I think you were showing me one of the items, weren't you?
Yeah, but this is
it's adorable.
Quartz on the bottom.
You put it a little bit closer to the screen.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
really close. No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I love it. That's great. So that is that the same wire wrap that you used for the necklace? The same type of?
Yeah,
Okay, that's is a copper, I'm guessing.
it is. Yes.
Yeah, no, I love the creativity. You know, so you're using the same things for the jewelry to make your other items like the garden and everything else. And the more I talk to artists like you, and the more that I see and I hear what people put into building it, it makes all of it more valuable, right? It makes it all worth more to understand the not just the level of effort went into it, but the love that went into it, and the training that went into it, right? And you're right. People say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but you know, meeting the maker makes the maker 1,000,000 words, right?
Honestly, I really am more focused on giving someone something that nobody else in the world has.
Leah, I can't thank you enough for doing this. I want to thank everybody who actually took the time to watch this. Once again, we are with Leah Chahantek from The Green Bead.